What's up, YouTube? Today I'm breaking down the 5 essential music video transitions that you need in 2023. These are gonna be pretty easy and basic effects that you guys can do, but even if you're an advanced video editor, I promise you're still gonna get something out of this video. But yeah, make sure you stay around to the very end so you can get all that sauce. Enough with this intro, let's get straight into Premiere Pro. The first transition on my list is gonna be the basic flash transition. We're gonna be breaking it down for you guys. So right here, I've just got clips from Lil Sky's music video, and we're just gonna add a flash transition right here. So it's super easy to do. The first thing you guys wanna go ahead and do is create an adjustment layer. Now, if you guys don't know how to do that, we'll go down here to this new item, and we're gonna go ahead to adjustment layer. Right here is just going to default to the settings of your project. We can hit OK here. And down here, we've got that adjustment layer. We're just going to go ahead and drag that on top of our clips. So for my flashes, personally, I like to make them around 6 frames long. So I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3 frames and cut this here. Delete that, and then from our transition, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3 forward. So you guys can go ahead into your effects and presets, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the brightness and contrast effect, and I'm just gonna drag this onto my adjustment layer. So what I like to do is just go to the middle of the transition where it first transitions, and I'm just gonna go ahead and keyframe my brightness here. You'll see we'll get a little keyframe in our timeline right there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and crank this to 100. You can see our flash just kind of starts to take place. What we want to do now is just go to the beginning of our adjustment layer and set that down to 0, and then go to the end of our adjustment layer and set that down to 0 as well. Now if I play that back, we've got a simple flash transition. So another thing you could do is just go ahead and drag this first keyframe right behind our flash keyframe so that it instantly goes into that flash and fades out. Playing that back, you can see our flash has way more punch. You might say, Meech, I need my screen to be completely blinded. This isn't flashy enough. Luckily for you, I've got a solution. What you can do is just go ahead right here. I'm going to Command C and Command V, and we're just going to duplicate our brightness and contrast like so. And now you can see that it almost completely blinds the screen on that flash. Playing that back, it's got a lot of punch and a super cool flash transition. If you guys are lazy like me and you don't want to go ahead and adjust these keyframes every time, that's where the music video essentials presets come in. This pack is full of over 40 unique transitions and effects you guys can just drag and drop onto your music videos, and I use it in every single music video that I produce. I have this pack downloaded. You'll just go to import presets like so, and right here you'll just go to wherever you saved it. Right here I've got the music video essentials, and you'll just hit open. And once you do that, you can refresh your presets tab, and you should have the music video essentials folder right here. So right here we're just going to go to the flashes, and we've got a ton of different options to choose from. I'm going to go ahead with that double flash and drag this onto our adjustment layer. Now playing that back, this is transition before the flash, and this is it with the flash. Sometimes you want a less intense flash, so I'm going to go ahead and drag this subtle flash onto this adjustment layer. Playing that back, you can see we have a very faint flash, but it definitely adds a lot to this transition. So yeah, that's it for this one. Let's get into the second essential transition that you guys need. So for this, I'm going to be using the exact same clips, and I like to call this the chop between effect. I don't think it has an official name, but I'm sure you guys have seen this one used, and it's definitely one that you should be utilizing if you aren't already. This is actually going to be the easiest effect on the list, and I'll show you why in a second. So here what we're going to do is you can see that we have our 2 clips overlaid. If I hide our top clip, you'll see that we have just this second clip underneath, and you're definitely going to want to go ahead and overlay your clips like so. Next, we're just going to go every frame and chop it up like so. If you guys don't know how to chop it up, we're just going to go ahead and grab this razor tool down, or by default, it's binded to C. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut every single frame like so. We're just going to go every other frame and delete that frame so that it bleeds through. Playing that back, you can see that it chops between the 2 clips, and it's super cool. This transition is just super easy to do. Honestly, I think it's not utilized enough, especially in those super high energy drill videos. This transition just goes perfect. So let's go ahead and hop into number 3. So the third transition that you guys need to be utilizing is the blur transition. Right here, we've just got these 2 clips that we're going to transition between. The first step of this is I'm just going to be going ahead and grabbing an adjustment layer and dragging that on top of our clips. Again, I'm going to make this blur like 6 frames long. So 1, 2, 3 back, and adjust that like so. And then 1, 2, 3 forward, cut and delete this bit. So now we've got that 6 frame adjustment layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a directional blur from my effects and presets and drag that onto our adjustment layer. Now here you see we have the direction and the blur length. So the direction is self-explanatory. It's going to be which way the blur is facing. So I'm just going to drag it to the left like this. Now I want to go ahead and keyframe my blur length. So I'm just going to go ahead and toggle that in the middle. And here I'm just going to go ahead and drag it to a value like, I don't know, 46. Then I'm going to go to the beginning of the transition, set that to 0. Go to the end of the transition and set that to 0 as well. This is the transition without the blur. And now applying that blur, this is what it looks like. And definitely just adds a subtle bit of energy to your edits. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a little bit of extra sauce. If you guys are familiar with After Effects, you know you can easy ease keyframes. And here we can kind of do the same thing within Premiere Pro. So I'm just going to go ahead and shift click all my keyframes. So that way I highlight all of them. Then I'm just going to right click and go to Visor. So now you can see that that transition is just a whole lot smoother. Now again, if you guys just want some super professional transitions without having to keyframe manually, got you covered. Here we can just go ahead into the music video essentials pack, and we've got a ton of different blurs to choose from. My personal favorite is going to be this glow blur. I'm just going to drag this onto our adjustment layer. Playing that back, this is it without the blur, and then with that preset applied, you can see that it just completely transforms that transition. It just looks super clean in my opinion. Again, these are going to be linked in the description if you guys do want to go ahead and check them out. So let's go ahead and test out another one. Let's just go ahead and put that vertical blur on like so. You can see we've just got a super clean blur transition right there. So the next transition we're going to be going over is this mask slide transition, and this one's super versatile because you can essentially mask out whatever you want and have that slide into frame. Obviously you can slide it from all directions, up, down, left, right. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and break down this transition. Starting off, I've just got my 2 clips with the split down the middle, and the first thing we want to do is hold Option, or if you're on Windows, hold Alt, and we're just going to drag this up like so. It's just going to duplicate our clip. Next, we want to create a freeze frame, so we're just going to right click and go to add frame hold. Now from here, I just want to go ahead and mask out Lil Skies. So I'm going to go to my effect controls in the opacity and grab this free draw visor. Now we can just go ahead and mask out our subject like so. Now obviously you can mask out anything you want. It doesn't have to be a person. It could just be like an object or anything like that. You guys can just go ahead and reduce this to like 25% so that way you can see the outside. I'm just going to go ahead and close this mask off like so. So now we've got Lil Skies masked out. We just need to drag him over our original clip. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames back and drag this over like so, then adjust it so this ends when we go into our second clip. Now you can see we have skies just overlaid over there. Now what I like to do is go ahead and mess with the mask expansion. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down a little bit, and I'm just gonna mess with the mask feather. Again, turn down the mask expansion until it just looks super clean. I'm gonna right click on our freeze frame and just nest this like so. Hit OK. Next, what we're gonna go ahead and do is get a transform effect and drag this on. Here we're just gonna go to where it transitions and keyframe our position. Next, we're just gonna go to the beginning and drag him out of screen like so. Playing that back, you can see that Lil Skies slides into frame like so. And you could leave it here, but we're going to go ahead and add some extra sauce. I'm just going to highlight both these keyframes and right click and do the visor trick and kind of ease that. And then another trick you can do is just go down to the shutter angle and crank this to 360. And this is going to add some motion blur. So now playing that back, we've got a super clean transition. Now I'm just going to go ahead and spice it up. I'm going to add an adjustment layer on top like so. Go 3 frames back, drag that like so. 3 frames forward, drag that like so. And I'm just going to go into the music videos essentials pack and just grab a flash, probably the subtle flash, and drag that on. And I think that just kind of ties the effect together with that little flash. But yeah, super versatile mask slide effect. You guys should definitely be utilizing this. Let's get into the next effect. The final transition that you guys need to be utilizing within your music videos is the shake transition. Now these are going to be the fast motion and just the regular shake transitions. These are just going to add a ton of energy to your edits and make your videos just kind of pop more. So right here, I've just got 2 clips and we're going to transition between them. All we have to do is drag an adjustment layer like so. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the music videos essentials pack. So here we've got fast motion transitions, shake and flash transitions, and shakes. And we've just got a ton of different options to choose from. And with each, you're going to go ahead and see that they have a recommended frame. So this one's 4 to 8, this one's 8 to 12, and so on. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the fast motion because these are my favorite guys. So for the fast motion, me personally, I like to use them at 6 frames. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 frames back, then going 1, 2, 3 frames forward, and cutting my adjustment layer like so. Now we can just go ahead and drag and drop some of these fast motion presets. So let's just go ahead and try the saucy and drag this on. So this is what it looks like before the presets. And with that shake preset applied, you can see that it just completely transforms this transition and adds a ton of energy to this edit. Let's go ahead and try another one with the crazy blurry. You can see this one just completely shakes up our clip and it looks super cool. Let's go ahead and try one more with the blurry flash and drag that on. You'll see this one's just super smooth and gives you that flash and shake transition. Now I'm going to go ahead and show off some of these shakes. So for these shakes, I do kind of like to keep them at 8 frames. I'm going to go ahead and extend these out 1 frame each direction. And my personal favorite is going to be this vertical shake flash. You can see it's Meech's favorite. I'm gonna just drag this on. This is probably the one that I use the most within my music videos. And you can see it just gives it that double flash and that super cool shake, and it's just super clean. Definitely can throw this one in any music video, and I promise it's gonna look good. Go ahead and try a harder one. We can go with the diagonal hard shake, and this one is just gonna transition super hard. Maybe on a bass hit, I would use this. But yeah, super easy to use, and you guys are gonna get that professional grade quality with just a drag and drop. If you guys are interested in purchasing these, I'll have a link to them in the description. Yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Hope you guys did find this helpful. I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for all the recent support on this channel. You guys purchasing my packs and watching these videos is what is making this possible for me. And I just want to give a big thank you to the whole community who's been supporting me through this journey. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Later.